What is going on, guys? Welcome to your 14th HTML5 tutorial, and in this tutorial, now that we understand the traditional box model, in other words, how to lay out websites nowadays, I want to tell you guys about the flexible box model. Now, the flexible box model is the future of web design. I'm telling you guys, and I'm not just saying that like, oh, look at the iPhone, it's the future of cell phones. No, this is literally the future of web design. This technology isn't even out yet. Browsers are still implementing this, and it's probably going to be official in about a year or two. So once it becomes official, then you guys are going to be at the front of the pack for web designers. And wait till you guys see it. It makes you have easily flexible websites and epic, amazing layouts. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. It's really easy to see visually. In instead of me trying to explain what everything is, I'll just go ahead and show you guys. So what I did is I went and cleared out everything in our main CSS, and the only thing I have left in our main template is I left all of those IDs just because we can use them to reference our div tags still, and I didn't want to write them over. And that's basically it. I pretty much left all the IDs, and yep, that's it. So basically you can just go ahead and copy this template for my forum, and once you copy this, you'll be good to go. So let me go ahead, and there's only one small change that we have to make in Bucky.html, and that's this. We have our body, and then basically all of our body is wrapped in this huge div tag called big wrapper. Now, under our navigation bar, but above our main section, what we want to do is we want to wrap this main section and also the side news in another div tag. So I'm just going to go ahead and write a div tag called div id equals, I'm just going to name it new div. So then we can clearly see what information is new in this tutorial aside from the last tutorial. So that's the div tag, and we need to close it. We're going to add our closing tag right below this last aside. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw that right there, and now you can see we got an opening and closing div tag called new div. And again, I'm going to go ahead and just copy this and throw it on my forum. So if you guys, are wondering, okay, where am I supposed to copy that? Just go ahead and grab it from my forum or look on my forum and make sure you got it in the same places that I do. So anyways, now that we got that taken care of, we can hop over, and make sure you save that, hop over to main CSS. Now let's go ahead and just preview this in Chrome right here to make sure you guys are on the same page as I am. Right now we just got a plain old Jane old boring stupid website. Time to spice things up a bit. So in our main CSS, the first thing we want to do is just some simple housekeeping stuff. For the overall website, we just want to reset the margins to 0 pixels, and also reset the padding of everything to 0 pixels as well. Now that we got that taken care of, let's just go ahead and fix our headers just so they look a tidbit pretty. So font, and I'm just going to save this as bold, 20 pixels, Tahoma. You gotta love Tahoma. Can't go wrong with Tahoma. And let me just go ahead and copy this real quick. And for heading 2, I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to change this to 14 pixels, just like that. And might as well save. Save often. Now, if I can remember my mnemonic device, header, section, footer, let's see, aside, nav, I think it is, article, wow, I messed up article again, and H group. Now let me see if I got that right. I think I said Harry, Sally, Freddie, and Ned ate hens. I think that was it. I knew that would come in handy sooner or later. So now what I want to do here is display all of these as a block, which pretty much means by default, all of these things are going to be positioned one under each other, and we need to specify that because basically for browsers that don't recognize these elements yet, and just for compatibility across all browsers. So I talked about that last time, so let's go ahead and move right onto the body. Now the body, what we need to do is we need to change a couple things. The very first thing we need to do is specify the width. Now the width of the body needs to be 100%. And you're saying, Bucky, by default, isn't it 100%? Well, yes, on most browsers, but you need to specify the size in order to use this flexible box styling of the website. So again, anytime you're using this flex box style, make sure that you specify that 100%. If you don't, you're going to run into a whole bunch of problems. And that's because whenever we make these boxes that are flexible, your browser needs to calculate the size of the boxes in order to know how much to change it, how much to shrink it or grow it. So it needs to know specifically the size of the overall body. So we won't get into all that. Basically, the only thing you have to remember is make sure your width is 100. And now we get into a little confusing stuff. So we need to alter the display. Now, we basically need to tell this body, okay, you are a parent box, and basically we're saying, okay, we're going to be putting flexible boxes inside you. So in order to specify this, this is where things get a little bit weird. Type webkit, or excuse me, minus webkit minus box. And you're like, okay, slow down. I have never seen that before in my life. Well, remember when I said that this is new technology and it isn't even out yet, and some browsers are still implementing this technology? Well, it's true, and that's why you need to use this WebKit. This WebKit, I know that the WebKit is implemented in Google Chrome, and I want to say it's implemented in Safari as well. So this pretty much means, okay, Google Chrome, we're going to be using a special WebKit now. And until they implement it and make it a standard, we're going to need to use these special kits. So I know it's kind of weird right now, but basically make sure you're using Google Chrome or else this tutorial is not going to work. And also make sure that you use this WebKit, which pretty much means, okay, we want to use the tools that Google Chrome is going to recognize. So if you don't have Google Chrome downloaded, go download it. By the way, it's the best browser anyway, so if you aren't using it, then you guys want to use it anyways. So basically what we're doing with this display is saying, okay, body, you're going to be holding a bunch of flexible boxes in it. Now, another thing that we want to use from the WebKit is a property called WebKit Box Pack. Now, WebKit Box Pack is basically saying, okay, how do we want the boxes inside this to be packed together? And we pretty much want to just say center, which pretty much means center align the boxes. Now, the property more specifically, since I might as well tell you guys in details, say you have a website that's 1,000 pixels wide. However, you only have two boxes in there that may be 300 pixels wide each. So you have a bunch of space left over. So what you're saying is, okay, when the website is bigger than the contents inside, just go ahead and center those contents. So essentially what we're doing is we're centering the one child that this body has, and since this body has one div, it's going to center the website. So basically this line right here is a weird way of centering the website. In other words, centering the children, which basically, like I said, centers the website. So now that we got all that confusing stuff taken care of, we got a lot of other stuff to tackle. But trust me, guys, it is definitely worth it. And you definitely don't want to miss these next 2 or 3 tutorials because it's going to change your whole view of web development and it's going to make your life a whole lot easier. So anyways, for now, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you guys in the next video.